People are still denying man-made climate change, which will be catastrophic for the future. Climate change.
Human-caused climate change.
And set the example.
Our climate change activists and, as you can see, yachter Leonardo DiCaprio, because yachts, of course, burn no diesel fuel. He is one of the dozens of celebrities who believe we should all change our lives to protect the planet, but they are not willing to change much about their lives. Take Oprah, Kim Kardashian, pretty much any other celebrity.
Meet the billionaires, politicians, and celebrities who preach about climate change but freeze up when asked to justify their fuel-guzzling jets and lavish lifestyles.
When we are asking Americans to make serious sacrifices, and your family and or yourself are flying around on private jets.
I do not fly. I fly commercially.
Where he said, sort of indignantly, I've never personally owned a private jet.
The impacts of the climate crisis growing.
What do you say to the charge that if you are a climate change campaigner, but you also travel around the world on a private jet, you're a hypocrite?
Well, I buy the gold standard of funding Climeworks.
This is a closer look at climate hypocrisy.
Climate change activist Bernie Sanders spent nearly $300,000 on private air travel.
You run a campaign and you do 3 or 4 or 5 rallies in a week.
Do your private jet flights contradict your position on climate change?
For more videos, follow Freedom Research on X.
We must do more to stop pouring carbon into the air, except for me when I want to go somewhere and then I take a private jet. Now enjoy this fun photo collage of some of your favorite stars and politicians who speak about the need to reduce our carbon footprint, but who are always on private planes. That's right, all of them.
You know, they're all like, oh, save the planet. Oh, I've got 5 SUVs, you know.
Right. So what do you think of these celebs talking about being eco-conscious and then using private planes for these little short trips and spewing tons of CO2? You think that they're being hypocrites here?
A hypocrisy bomb.
Celebrity hypocrisy is...
They're obviously hypocrites.
Woke hypocrisy.
Kim Kardashian flew down to Australia. She burnt $200,000 worth of jet fuel.
When they lecture constantly about the environment.
World's wealthiest billionaires produce more greenhouse gas emissions from their yachts, private jets, mansions, and financial investments.
He's going to spend $500 million on not a yacht, a super yacht.
Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez tying the knot in Venice.
Hosting a foam party aboard their 417-foot luxury super yacht.
At the same time, the elite are enjoying luxury, while the media are fear-mongering people with talk of a burning planet.
Climate change.
Climate change, the burning of fossil fuel.
A message on climate change.
Is this crisis unfolding more quickly than...
This is unfolding faster than the science.
You know, time is really running out. You have to act now.
Right. The flooding gets worse. Sea level is rising. Stop this progressive destruction of the future of...
The United Nations Climate Conference is underway, and once again, the elite are gathering at COP30 to tell the rest of the world to drive less and eat less. And how do they get there? Of course, by flying private.
Over on private jets, I mean, the carbon emissions from that alone
Now have the biggest carbon footprint in the history of the annual climate summit.
The same goes for the very elite of the globe who gather at Davos at the World Economic Forum.
And a very warm welcome.
How would you describe the World Economic Forum?
These are the masters of the universe. I call them the VVIPs. You know, they're against fuel and they're against food, even though
No. They're against fuel and food for peasants.
And that's so they're in their private jets.
And accelerate its transition to net zero.
This organization really is the center point of the biggest companies, billionaires, and the most influential people. While they are counting your kilowatts and calories, they're flying thousands of private planes to Davos.
Things got a little heated. The big Davos environmental thing was over in Switzerland.
What's the carbon footprint of these events every single year that you come here? Think it's worth it?
peasants pay for your crimes?
Don't make up stupid questions.
The World Economic Forum has become a running joke. From the infamous slogan, "You will own nothing and you will be happy."
You'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Yeah, you'll own nothing and you won't get to complain.
Soon, every citizen might have their personal carbon footprint tracker.
To live the carbon neutral lives that everyone demands, that you have to do this, you have to do this, this has to be sustainable.
Your own carbon footprint.
Actually looked at the carbon footprint of sandwiches.
Would you cut out beef?
Do you like steak?
Would you move to a smaller home?
My house is pretty small as it is.
So would you be willing to maybe cut down on your driving?
I already have done.
Yeah?
I don't drive anyway. I'm always on
The elite of this planet have apparently decided that, in the future, nobody should own a personal car, and robot taxi fleets, car taxes, and petrol bans are already rolling out.
Cars have been banned from parts of the Norwegian capital, Oslo.
The European Parliament has given the green light to a plan to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars.
And your steak and cheese? Forget it. Meat and dairy should be replaced with lab-grown alternatives, soy patties, GMO processed meats, and even insects.
Insects help solve one of the 21st century's biggest challenges.
All in the name of saving the planet. Bon appétit.
Join the fight to defend our freedoms. Follow Freedom Research on X.